Hello and welcome to a new boss guide. Today we're talking about the Graffiti Witch. Since she got added as the boss of the 25th floor of the newly added tower mode, I figured it would be a good idea to make a guide for her. Let's start with standard difficulty. She has two stun skills, one is AoE and the other hit 3 targets. You want to bring a character with ailment removal to remove it as soon as possible. You can also try to ignore it since the stun chance is fairly low in standard, but it's not the best strategy. She has a single target attack that gives her an attack and speed buff. She can quickly become a menace if you let her power up too much. Thankfully the buffs are removable, which is useful if you can't finish the fight fast enough. Her last skill will remove the buffs of your team including shields, but the buff removal happen after the damage, so shields will still protect you against this attack. Her skill rotation is really small, making her easily predictable. She will buff herself, then remove your buffs, and finish by using one of her stun, rinse, and repeat. There is no way to know which stun she's gonna use, but it's not a huge difference. Battler difficulty is the exact same fight but harder. Things get more complicated in Nightmare. She loses her weakness to forest and is resistant to pretty much everything. She now attack twice per turn and get a lot of debuff resistance. This put buffers back on top unlike standard, because once she is broken, she can't remove your buffs but her debuff resistance remains. Using a portrait that increases debuff hit rate can help mitigate this problem. Her skills are also different, but still similar. Her stuns and buff removal got combined in a single stronger skill. The stun chance goes from 30 to 40% to 50%. So having your whole team stunned in a single attack is a somewhat probable outcome. Her buff skill now increase attack and defense instead of attack and speed, which is less of a problem in my opinion. Her last two skills are attacks without an additional effect. Her skill rotation is more complicated, and with 2 action per turn, she stack her buffs faster, making buff removal an even better option for the fight. The fight in tower mode is the same as in Nightmare but even more difficult, and she get back her weakness to forest. As I said, the most important thing for this fight is to deal with her stuns and buffs. So bringing a character with a buff removal is a good option. I already mentioned Iam earlier. On top of her buff removal, she also has good debuffs to increase your damage. She also has an MP gain on her skill, so you have access to your special attack often. Her only downside is that the boss might resist to her debuffs, but she's a good pick for the fight. I also recently learned that the 3-star Hazuki also has a buff removal. She's pretty bad since she is only a 3-star, but she's the only other character with a buff removal if you don't have Iam. To deal with the stun you have 3 options. Heed, the best healer in the game. On top of removing ailments, she also give MP to her allies with her skill and special attack. This also help Iam to remove buffs since she does it with her special attack. Ryra need her ascension too to remove ailments, so if you don't have it you can ignore her. Her ailment removal is on her special attack. This means that as long as you have the MP you can remove the stun as soon as it's applied even if it's not her turn. But it also means that sometimes you won't be able to deal with the stun if her special isn't available. Lastly for Ryra, her ailment removal is on the whole team, and isn't limited to 3 allies like Keed and Yuma. Yuma has better heals than Ryra and doesn't need ascension. If your Ryra is A2 and Yuma is A0, they're both just as good. But at equivalent ascension level I think Yuma is better. You also have the 4th secret option, using a defender and hoping you don't get stunned too much. For portrait, you want debuff hit rate if you're using Iam. Ailment resistance can prevent your sustain from getting stunned at the cost of a bit less healing. At the time of this video, only event portraits can increase these stats, and no support abilities can do it. That's it for this guide. I cleared the 25th floor of the tower against this boss with a free-to-play team. You can check it out if you want, the link is in the description. Goodbye and see you soon.